I will be calling the October 9th, 2025 meeting of the Delaware County Redevelopment Commission to order. If you could please stand and join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Roll call, please.
Ms. Green.
Present.
Commissioner Brand.
Present.
Commissioner Henry.
Here.
Mr. Wrigley.
Here.
Okay. Now I will entertain a motion to approve the minutes from the September 11th meeting.
So moved.
Okay, motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Ms. Green.
Yes.
Commissioner Brand.
Yes.
Commissioner Henry.
Yes.
Mr. Wrigley.
Moving on to tabled business. 4A is the Daleville TIF interlocal agreement. I believe that was included in our packet, an updated version of that.
Motion to remove from the table.
Second.
Okay, motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay. Discussion on that?
The document you have that was sent to you is the result of negotiation and discussion with Daleville's attorney. We went through a couple different rounds of discussion, and this is the draft that seems to be acceptable to Daleville. And so we're asking for the board's consideration of the document. And then Daleville will look at it and adopt it at its meeting next Tuesday, I think it is.
Yeah. In the that's the Redevelopment Commission for Daleville, right? Not the town of Daleville.
Right, I'm sorry, yeah, they're talking about a redevelopment commission meeting either Tuesday or Thursday, so.
So in the June 16th Daleville Redevelopment Commission, they approved the concept, which is memorialized in this memo, with a 4-1 vote. So I hope they would approve it.
I would make a motion to approve the document as presented.
I'll second.
Okay. Motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Ms. Green.
Yes.
Commissioner Brand.
Yes.
Commissioner Henry.
Yes.
Mr. Wrigley.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I do not see Mr. McConnell here, so we can leave America's Hometown Band on the table.
Do you think he's going to come back?
I have not had any communication with him. Has anyone had any communication with him?
I'd make a motion to remove it from the table.
Second.
Motion a second. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay.
I'd like to deny Mr. McConnell's request.
Second.
Motion a second. Roll call, please.
Ms. Green.
Yes.
Commissioner Brand.
Yes.
Commissioner Henry.
Yes.
Mr. Wrigley.
Yes.
Okay. And 4C, the Oakville weather siren alert. Do we want to remove that?
I'll make a motion to remove so I can provide the board with an update.
Thank you.
Second.
Okay. Motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed?
So we got a request from Indiana Michigan Power to submit a $40,000 grant request to fund this tornado siren. This tornado siren's for Daleville. The total cost, including the pole, is $34,747. Still working to find.
For Oakville.
Did I say Oakville?
You said Daleville.
Dale, I said Oakville, yeah. Not Daleville, Oakville. Thank you for that correction. And we're still working with the town of Oakville, specifically Keystone Cooperative out there, to see if we can find a location on their property to install this. So Leonard Reese is the Monroe Township trustee, and he's working with Oakville, not Daleville, to find this location. I don't know the status of the grant request, but I understand it was received pretty favorably.
I'm glad to hear that AEP would be interested in
Yep.
Yep, I agree.
If no further discussion, I make a motion to put it back on the table pending the outcome of the location identification and the results of the grant request.
Second.
Okay, motion a second. Roll call, please.
Ms. Green,
Yes.
Commissioner Brand,
Yes.
Commissioner Henry,
Yes.
Mr. Wrigley.
Yes.
Okay, item number 5 on the agenda is a guardrail replacement request. Good morning, Tommy.
Whoops.
Turn your mic
Turn your
on,
mic
please.
Yeah, there we go. Tommy Humbert, Delaware County Highway Department.
Thank you.
I have Dean Thomas with me. He's our new engineer, the county engineer. So what we'd like to talk to you guys about, we got some guardrail that's kind of not working. It's non-functional. It's leaning. It's a section of guardrail from, I hope I'm saying this right. Is it Tony Winery, like that driveway? It would go to
Sunny
the,
rhymes with sunny.
yeah, there you go. It goes to the east down to Walnut. It also is bad going up Walnut. So we got 2 different quotes. We didn't know if we could try to pull something off in segments, and we tried to get something for the total length going down Walnut to where it stops at the bridge. I think you all have all of the estimates once you look at them there.
So there's an existing guardrail that's falling into that ditch, right?
Correct. Yes, correct. It's a huge liability. There's not much holding that.
It's also out of spec with current NDOT specs. So.
And you're asking the Redevelopment Commission to fund this because you've exhausted your other funds for other guardrail projects.
Yes,
so
yes,
far
and
this year.
I was going to come to you all on a Delville project on 800 West going into Delville. I found the money. I had to kind of look pretty hard to get it, but I was able to pay for it myself.
So help me out with these quotes on specialties. There's 2 quotes, one for 27,875.
Right.
That's the,
That's gonna be the short area.
that's the guardrail on Norton Road, correct?
Right, but it will curve around
Yeah, just a little.
a little bit and
I got
into
you.
Walnut.
And then the 68.5 is to replace all of it.
Correct. That would be all the
on
way up
Norton
Walnut
Road
to the
and then
north.
that big section going up Walnut
Walnut.
Street.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So these are 2 separate quotes. They don't need
Yeah.
to be added together.
No, ma'am.
Correct.
No, I just wanted to, in the perfect world, we like to do it all, but if we can't, I kind of had it broke down.
Then,
to take
then
per
with,
segment.
with,
Thank you.
with the Drew Corporation, that 17,730, that's just for the Norton Road project.
Absolutely, yes, that's correct. They are the one that we don't have the second, they'll have us their second quote, like within the next day or so, maybe 2 days,
For the full run.
for the full run. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Have you ever used, has Highway ever used Drew?
No, I haven't. I think Dean's gonna be more familiar with Drew and,
C-Tech?
C-Tech.
Yeah, my previous employment, we used Drew and C-Tech pretty well strictly. We used a little bit of specialties, but their prices were often
Hi.
so.
Also, there's a chance, we're talking to Dean this morning, we would ask for the full amount, but there is a possibility of us being able to return money to you because we are gonna get with them on traffic control, and we will try to save every ounce of money we can save. If we can do the in-house safety control, we would bring that money back to you. Anything that we can save by helping out in ways like that, we will bring the money back.
Yeah,
to
we would
you.
only pay the actual invoice.
Yeah.
Would it be appropriate for the board to table until we have the second Drew estimate? Just to follow protocol? Just a thought.
Yeah, I would like to see Drew's second estimate. But It'll be here before the next meeting.
Yes, it will be, probably sometime next week.
Okay. We ought to have it here in the next couple days.
And the guardrail can be installed in the colder weather.
Yeah, as long as it's not, the ground's not froze.
Okay.
So is that a motion, Carrie?
I'll make that a motion if you would, please.
Have a
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Roll call, please. Ms. Green. Yes. Commissioner Brand.
Yes.
Commissioner Henry.
Yes.
Mr. Wrigley.
Yes.
Nice job. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
I appreciate you all. Thank you. We'll get that to you as soon as we get it. We'll email it to you.
Appreciate the
Thank you.
creativity on the 2 new companies.
Number 6 on our agenda is the White Lake Community Council. Ken Hudson. Good morning.
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 So the Neighborhood Association, the White Lake Community Council, which is not only a neighborhood association, but also a nonprofit organization, is embarking on a redevelopment project. Some of you may be familiar with. The project is at 1208 East Centennial, right on the corner of, pretty much on the corner of MLK and Centennial, right behind or next to the Bowden building, radiator shop there. We own approximately 5 acres of land there, and we have a 2-phase project. The first step of that project is to redevelop the property that has the buildings on it. There's 3 buildings there currently, a main building, just over 17,000 square feet. There's a garage that we're taking out. There's a pole barn there that is going to be approximately 3,500 square feet once we finish renovating it. The main building will have multiple different resources going along with the inside of it. We're talking a community health center. Open Door will provide the health center. We'll have various tenants. Open Door will be one. Ted Baker's looking to be inside the property. Ball State University is looking to be inside the property as a tenant. The Delaware County Health Department has signed on to be a tenant in the property. And then there's various others. Pathstone is another. Pathstone Corporation will bring housing redevelopment, home ownership programs, and a bunch of other things to the east side. Our goal with this redevelopment project is to break the cycles of poverty that exist on the east side and stabilize the east side of Muncie and other areas as well. We have a food pantry that's been in existence since 2016, and we've had various other programs that were open to the entire city, as well as our food pantry is open to anyone who can get to it. It not only serves the city of Muncie, but it's 15 minutes from and also serves town of Albany, Selma, Eaton. I've had personal phone calls come into my personal phone asking from those areas, Yorktown as well, can we come to your pantry? And we always tell them yes. So that with that in mind, any other resource that we provide that is under the roof at this property will also serve those areas. The original estimate for this redevelopment, well, let me back up a step. I talked about the first building, which will have much more than just what I mentioned. There will also be things there for youth development and youth mentoring. There's a smoothie shop that we're planning on putting in there that will be a ploy to bring in our youth. And there'll also be a podcast room for more youth programs. Our youth like to do music. We'll have a commercial kitchen there. Our food pantry will exist there. Our health and wellness committees will operate from there. Safety committees and our education committees will operate from there, which we put on education programs every summer. We also make an attempt to connect with other partners within the city to do other programming. The difficulty is we've done all this without having a space. This is our attempt to bring all of those resources together, answer the needs for the families that exist on the east side by way of the Whiteley neighborhood, which there's 11 neighborhoods that surround this point where there is poverty rates that are 47% and higher. And there's many other issues as well. The other building on the property will become a indoor-outdoor venue for residents to use. It'll also become a STEM learning center for when we put on our summer programs. I'm not sure how much you have before you in material, but I do have a folder that has a lot of this information inside that I had to run back down to my car and grab. I'll give this to you. If you want to see some visuals, there are some visuals inside there. There is some, you're welcome. There's graphics and visuals and information all on the inside. There's pamphlets in there that talk about the project. There's a blueprint, floor plan in there. So you on the left-hand side, it's a floor plan in there, a blueprint in there. You may even have a flyer in there that has some of the pictures for the upcoming property. We've had a lot of interest in the redevelopment from funders all over the city. The original estimate is $4.5 million for this project, and we've raised $4 million of that. And we've galvanized a lot of momentum, and we're moving forward pretty quickly. But we do need to bring in the other $500,000. Now, we do see that we will more than likely need to raise a little bit more because we've just had our roof reassessed to replace the roof before winter, and that assessment came back approximately $85,000 more than the original cost of the roof. And there's a lot of different reasons why that is. It's not all inflation and stuff. Some of it is the further deterioration of the roof between the first estimate and the second estimate. We're looking to secure a bridge loan. We're talking to, or construction loan. We're talking to multiple different financial institutions about not only loaning capabilities, borrowing capabilities, but also contributing to the project and making a gift. And today, I'm here before you to humbly ask your participation in the project to help us complete this project. It's a major project that will help multiple families. The populations on that side of town, just in the 11 neighborhoods that I mentioned, reach over 12,000 individuals. And that doesn't include when we reach and serve folks in the county areas, Selma, Albany, Gaston, and those areas. Many of those people come because we have the food pantry, but we are pretty sure that once they learn that, hey, there's a healthcare center here, also, and it won't be just a clinic, it will be a full center. There's a healthcare center here. There's other resources here that we can take advantage of. We do expect to see even a larger increase in the population, family populations that come from those areas, as well as families that are right around us in these neighborhoods that I've mentioned. We're looking for a multiple year investment. We consider it an investment, a partnership from this board that is in the amount of $300,000. What we would do with that is we would be able to start construction on this property. Not only now, but over the winter time, we'll be able to work on the inside of the building. It will also allow us to go ahead and get that bridge loan to cover the commitment. Spread out over 3 years will allow some space for this board to consider coming in alongside of us and not depleting its funds in one fell swoop. But allowing it the time and the opportunity to replenish its funds year after year. We would entertain other amounts, but this is where we are right now. We're trying to raise approximately $250,000 with the community. There's a community ask we're walking into right now, and there is the ask that we're putting on our financial institutions, and then there's this ask here. And we're hoping that between the three, we can close the gap on that $500,000 that we are still looking to raise so that we can cover the project. Now, the sustainability of this project is wrapped into its planning. For instance, we purchased a building in 2018, but we have, I believe it's less than $45,000 of debt left on the property. We plan to pay that off in our fundraising campaign. So when we come out of construction, we'll have zero debt. We also don't plan to borrow more than we need. So while we're gathering commitments, we are only we're only lining up bridge funding needs with the commitments that have been made. So once those commitments come in, we pay that loan off and we go into the project debt-free, go into the property debt-free. Also, the funders that are involved are funders that have been with us for quite a while. George and Francis Ball Foundation, the Ball Brothers Foundation, the United Way. The United Way is in at $1.5 million in this project. Now that's the state United Way. That's not the local United Way. But those are individuals that have been with us for a long time, and they've provided funding for the staffing, which is myself, and our programs. And the property itself will sustain itself because the organizations that are going in are all paying rent, and there won't be any overhead except for materials to clean supplies, and then maintenance after that. We plan on actually hiring a couple of individuals, so this will also add some jobs. Not a great deal of jobs, but it will add some job opportunities to the area, and we do plan on hiring local. Now, the contractor on this project is Pridemark. Pridemark is putting bids out for the different portions of the project. We've left that up to them. They've worked with us for a good while now, pro bono. And now we're at the point to where we're getting ready to sign contracts for electrical work, and we're getting ready to sign contracts for the roof. I believe I covered most of what I have in front of me. Is there any questions I can answer?
I'm assuming you are a 501c3.
Yes, we are 501c3. Now we've oddly enough, we've paid taxes, but it stopped right before COVID because we have rental properties, and so we've paid taxes on the property for a number of years. We've paid into the tax reservoir. Our building itself, we've paid taxes on that because we were leasing that space.
Well, yeah, you had ancillary income which had to be
Yep.
reported. Okay.
Yep. We've paid taxes over the years on
Got it.
our properties. Yeah.
Have you had an opportunity to present this to the Muncie Redevelopment Commission?
Not yet. No. The city has come in. The city was the first group in when we first started fundraising. The city contributed some early ARP funds that was left over out of that reservoir that we all knew was there. So we're talking a few years ago.
Okay.
And then the mayor's office is looking to come back in with a contribution. Not this budget, but further down the road. And there may be some in-kind contributions that they may be able to make as well. Because we own just about 5 acres, we own some wooded land to the east of that property. And there is some consideration to have a gravel road put through there, because when we run our pantry, currently we run our pantry at 1010 East Centennial, which is Harvest Christian Fellowship Church. Our pantry line runs right through McCullough Park, and it actually gets in the way of the fire station. It's that long. It goes straight through the park. And that line is through the park for a good hour before we get out of the park. So when we move, we stand a chance of clogging up traffic at least once a month unless we pave some space through that wooded area and come out on Wolf Street. That'll provide good access to the pantry without clogging up Centennial when we have our food pantry. Did I answer your question?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Yep.
The contribution from United Way that you listed on the Word document that you gave us, it says not awarded. Can you,
That's because we don't have it in the bank.
okay,
That's all that means. I've only, like, there is, I think that's part of the bridge loan amount. So it's set aside with them, but they want us to spend what we have before they award what they've awarded per se. They want to come in last. So their process is, once we sign all our contracts with the contractor, construction crew, then we also show them that we have the amount of funds to go right up to their portion. We have that liquid, and we have that right now. We have a little over 2 million right now in the bank that we can spend toward this project to start right now. We just don't have the rest with us in the bank currently. That's where that bridge loan comes in. So to keep us from having to wait for the following year, or for instance, the Community Foundation awarded $250,000. That award was over 5 years. The first year of $50,000 we have, it's in that 2.1 million, but we don't have the other 200,000. So, and we can't wait year after year after year. Same with United Way. Now we'll have that United Way money in hand before we get, more than likely before we get to the bridge loan amount that's needed. But if we go ahead and get the bridge loan for the amount that we're talking to the banks about, which is approximately 2.4 million, which covers everything else, then once that United Way funding comes in, we pay that right to the bridge loan. Yes. But they want to see the contracts that are written, because they have to do one more release vote, and they want to see that we spend down all of our funds to the point to where they come in with their 1.5. They want to pay for it last. Yeah.
do you have any signed contracts currently?
No, but we will be signing one for electricity, the electrical service being being moved, and we will be signing one for the roof really soon. The roof we hope to get done before winter, so that we can stop any further deterioration of the roof and having it cost us more. We haven't, the roof, the metal layer of the roof is still good. We don't want that to rust through, because that will run the cost up, having to replace all that steel. So we are replacing that roof. It has a leak in it now, a hole that's developed in it now, and we know that it's just going to get worse over the winter. So that's one of the first things we're doing. We're going to do the electricity before that, so we'll be out of power for one day. We hold our pantry supplies there. We have refrigerators and freezers there. We had a church that was leasing the space for a while, and they've moved out last 2 months ago. So we're ready to start the work there. We'll only be out of power for one day, is what we're hearing. And so we'll have generators running our equipment at that point. The project itself is something that will aid the entire city and the counties around it. This is a project that is centered on the needs of our community, where we have many people that are living underneath the federal poverty level. We've done consulting groups with the EPA. We've got some fundraising consultants right now that are helping us. We've brought people all the way from Atlanta, from Maine, to consult with our community, to talk about what they want to see here. Everything that we have going on at this space lines up with the needs of the community. And we can tailor the programs and organizations that lease space from us to fit the needs of not only the county residents, but also the city residents. Like I said, we're just 15 minutes drive from the counties that Selma, Albany, Gaston. We're 15 minutes from them. Matter of fact, there's a map right here that shows those county areas and shows that's the 15-minute drive. Well, we're just 20 minutes. We're 20 minutes from Parker City, and 20 minutes from Yorktown, 20 minutes from Daleville, 20 minutes from Gaston, 15 minutes from Eaton, Albany, and Selma. And we get phone calls, because my personal phone number is out there as the director for the Whiteley Community Council, and they call me saying, is this the food pantry? And then we're from Selma, can we come? We're from, and it's always a yes. But if you study, and that packet that I gave you shows, if you look at the needs of this area, you'll realize that there has not been, first of all, there's two things. You'll realize that the need is great. Secondly, you'll see that there has not been any development on this side of town that points to the social determinants of health. And when I talk about the social determinants of health, what I mean is things that impede people from living a higher standard of life and a higher quality of life. So this is a project that just simply lifts people up and gives people the opportunity to take advantage of multiple things. There's also room for our youth to be in this property. If you know anything about this area, the Roy C. Bewley Center used to be there. It's not in community use anymore. And then the multi-center was in the industry neighborhood about 17 years ago. And there was a promise to rebuild that center, and that was never completed as well. So you have a large number of our youth that don't have much to do in these areas over the summertime breaks, over the spring breaks. And what we found was an uptick in youth detention from that time till now. So we're hoping to break this cycle and that's existing on this side, the cycle of poverty. We'll have where we can provide programs to help people gear themselves up for the jobs that are coming in. By the way, we have talked to factories and employers in this area in the past where we've actually run job fairs for them. And what they tell us often is that we can train the people to do the job, but we can't train them to have soft skills. So we need someone who will give forth programs to help adults, young adults, with the soft skills it takes to just hold a job. And then we hear a lot about our youth needing some social services and some different things of that nature. So our goal is to do as much as we can and do it to a high standard and make a difference in the
Have
city.
you asked to be on the Muncie Redevelopment Commission agenda, and when do you expect to be on their agenda?
I have not asked to be on their agenda yet.
Okay.
No, I have not asked to be on their agenda yet.
Something I worry about with the community centers is I've attended and watched some of the city meetings when some of the individuals have got up and made ask for some of those facilities. And it honestly, it seems to me that the Whiteley community wants to be separate from the industrial community, wants to be separate from further south in the city, whatever those different areas are called. But it just seems to me that everybody wants their own center.
Ross Center.
Yeah, the Ross Center, and we gave money to the senior
Citizen, Muncie, Delaware
yeah,
County
senior center.
Citizen
And I feel like we're starting to get into where all these neighborhoods are wanting their own community centers, and now we're getting asked
And I would like to
fund
address.
them all.
I would like to address that.
Yeah.
So this plan for the Whiteley Neighborhood Association has been in place for over 10 years before I even became the executive director. The building was held for the neighborhood association by Mr. Crookston himself and his wife when they owned Tri-C Roofing Supply Center. Miss Crookston tutored at Motivate Our Minds and at Longfellow with Miss Mary Dollison. I met them years ago. They could have sold that property for a lot more than what they sold it to us for. They sold it to us for $90,000. They were getting asked for a lot more than that. They purposely held it for us. We've been looking at this for years. Now, I do agree with you. There is, and there is some talk amongst other areas that are considering a center, and I'm not trying to disparage that for them, but I definitely understand where you're coming from. I don't think there's a need to have a center in every neighborhood.
That's kind of my point.
Yes, there's not.
Yes.
This project was first on the map. Not only that, your first statement was, it seems as though Whiteley wants to be separate from industry, so and so and so on.
But my point is, that I feel like they all want to be separate, not just Whiteley.
And that's a problem.
Yeah.
So, but that's not Whiteley's attitude.
I got you.
We partner with Minnetrista, Morningside, all those other neighborhood associations. Matter of fact, I was at Forest Park Neighborhood Association just a couple weeks ago, helping them through some things. We partner with them and give them the opportunity to do as much as they can with us. Our goal is not to see multiple, and that's not up to us. We don't make those decisions. Our goal is not to see those things happen. And I know that, now let's be honest, sometimes there is this, you see what's happening over here, and all of a sudden everybody's thinking, I want to do that. And then somebody else says, well, I want to do it too. And then somebody else says, well, I want to do it too. I don't advocate for that. What I do advocate for is finding out what your need actually is, and then trying to answer that need. Now, we've been a neighborhood association for 60 years and a nonprofit for 30 years. We're at the place now where one of our major funders is convening the Whiteley Community Council, the Ross Center, and Urban Light CDC as partner agencies, not to exist together, but we're convening at the table with one of our major funders to find out how we can build a hub in 3 locations of the city that have the resources that families need to cover the entire city as a network of resource hubs. We're being looked at as one of our major funders as a hub, 812 as a hub, and Ross as a hub. And we're trying to find out how you can service families, and how when we don't have a resource that you have, how we work together to get families to you, and same with the other hub. So what we're building is this network of support, which people don't really realize it is far greater than the neighborhood wants their own building. The Whiteley neighborhood cannot sustain this building by itself. That's why this building is a resource hub for all of the community. If we were to put a grocery store on the east side, or in Whiteley, which residents have always asked for a grocery store, I've already told them we cannot have a grocery store over here. We can't do that because the neighborhood itself cannot sustain a grocery store. The same way the neighborhood itself will not sustain this building all by itself. That's why we have Open Door Health Center coming into the building to erect a health clinic, not a walk-in clinic like on 29th Street. They're going to do a full service space over here, mental health services and everything. So this is a little bit different than saying we want our own spot for our own kids to go. This is a little bit different than that. There was another point I wanted to make, it slipped my mind, but
do you mind if I piggyback off of that for a minute? It's me.
Okay.
I kind of want to piggyback off of what you just said and what Commissioner Henry just said. I understand that you're saying that you want this to be a community-wide asset, but the fact that the other neighborhoods, and we've seen it for years, this isn't something new, the fact that the other neighborhoods are also asking for their own concerns me for the long-term viability. And I don't think that's your fault. I'm not placing blame here. You want it to be for everyone, but I worry about the other neighborhoods utilizing it while they still want their own, if that makes sense. I understand that the Selmas and the Albanys and the Eatons are utilizing the the food pantry portion of it, but while the other neighborhoods still want their own center, and there's talks, I mean, there's already talks about funding an industry center and another center in another neighborhood. My concern is actually making that happen, and not through any fault of your own, but because every neighborhood wants a place for their own kids.
Yeah.
So will they send their kids to the Whiteley Community Council Center while they're really holding out hope that they get their own?
No, see, here's the thing, and we purposely don't call this a community center on purpose. We call this a resource center. You have to ask yourself, are they building a resource center? Or is that or do they just want a community center? There's a difference. Resource centers usually exist for recreation. I'm sorry, community centers usually exist for recreation. Resource centers exist for a larger purpose. Break cycles of poverty, provide resources, provide support, have programming, all these other types of things. We can do everything that a community center can do except for play basketball. But we'll have opportunities for entrepreneurs to lease space from us to build their businesses as well. There's a bunch of other things we will be able to do. Now, if you were to ask the United Way, for instance, matter of fact, I've actually asked this question. If you ask of the United Way, do you think there is too many programs, or do you think, like, what's the problem? Is there too many programs? Are people not working together, or what's going on with reading? My answer from them was, there's not enough programs. So I'm not saying that there's not enough centers. I'm saying that these communities exist in silos. So their kids that walk home from their elementary schools may need a space. It doesn't mean it's a resource center like what we're doing. It doesn't mean that. They just want to find out, how can we support our youth and our community, because those kids are not going to go from the deep South Side and ride their bikes all the way to Whiteley. If I was their parents, I wouldn't want them to do that anyhow. They're not going to travel all the way across town, but their parents might come for the programs that exist there. So there is a difference here, what we're talking about. There's a difference between neighborhoods wanting a space to call their own, which is not for me to judge. But if you're asking me for my opinion, I say we've raised $4 million. Put some skin in the game.
Are you going to be adding any new, you're talking about parents coming to take advantage of the programs. Are you going to be adding any new programming that doesn't currently already exist within the city of Muncie?
Oh, we'll be adding that doesn't currently already exist within the city of Muncie. Well, there's recidivism programs we'd like to institute. There are mentoring programs that does not currently exist on the east side that we'd like to put in place. There's healthcare that does not exist on the east side that we want. Now, keep in mind, this building has strong walkability. That means the community doesn't have to catch a ride to it. Morningside, Minnetrista, Whiteley, Altshire, they all can just walk or ride a bike or whatever, right to the space. So there's, again, we can tailor fit. Now, we can tailor fit to the needs of the people. Now, what the health department has told us is that we want to be in this space because our data shows us that the people groups that you're trying to serve are in high need of the services that we have. So they've seen it in their data that there is uptick in disease and multiple other things. And they want to be in the space, and they want us to help them reach the people. When they're not using their space that they're leasing from us, they're going to lend their space to other health-serving organizations to implement their programs from that same space. So it'll be like a potluck dinner. Everybody is going to be able to come and get something. So that's what we're looking at here. So the programs that are going in, the programs that will be created, the services that will be implemented are services that do not currently exist on the east side whatsoever, for the most part. And then in other cases, we'll be giving homes to programs that need a home so that that program can actually function, and there will be free space for programming. So those programs can actually function adequately and reach more populations and do their job better. Does that answer your question?
Yep.
Okay.
Have you met with Gretchen Cheeseman at Community Development?
Yes.
And
So we're looking at $75,000 from them being held out in the next cycle,
For 26 or 27?
26.
6.
Yeah, in their next budget. So there is approximately 150,000 coming from the mayor's office in their next budget year. That's not included in. It's what we'll have to borrow against per se, and half of that is coming from there. So we've also talked to them, and they're who we had the conversation with about the gravel paving. That can be in kind. The gravel paving of the road space through that wooded area, so that we can properly serve people with our food pantry. Because when we get it open, we're going to have a lot going on. I mean, I'm not sure if I have pictures in those folders, but there is space for us to bring in fresh, healthy food with farmers markets where there's no grocery. Again, I said the neighborhood association cannot provide you a grocery store. We know that, but we can do our best to provide fresh, healthy fruits and vegetables and other things by way of farmers markets and through our food pantry. And then we can provide training that lead to higher wage jobs that can make the area more inviting to a grocer, because we know they do market analysts, and if they see 47% poverty and all sorts of other things, they're not coming into your area. So we can try to make the space more inviting for other businesses to come into that space as we provide programs and such.
You've done a very good job presenting this to us, and I appreciate you answering all the questions. I personally would like to see what the MRC is going to put towards the project, if anything. I'm guessing they will. And I'd like to take a look at our TIFs. I think if we did decide to give something, it would have to come out of basically all the TIFs.
Yeah, I mean, there aren't any TIFs on that side of the county that are very productive.
No.
They're all on the other side of the county.
So I think there's a few things for us to look at before we could make a commitment at this point.
And it's a big ask, $300,000, $100,000 for 3 years in a row.
Yeah,
It's a big ask.
it is.
Yeah, I would agree with the rest of the commission here. I think we need to let them exhaust all the municipal opportunities that are currently out there. And then maybe bring this back with more information and give us time to analyze. And I would put that in the form of a motion if acceptable to the president.
And let me add one more thing, just so that it's never my intention to ask organizations, municipalities, funders to strain themselves. We don't know your capability, right? So I'm here with an ask. That's a starting space. I am asking you though to strongly consider what the need is and what the answer is. And I would also ask you to please don't hold it against us that everybody else is popping up saying, hey, we want to do something too.
Not at all.
No, not at all.
No, I would suggest to you that I'm familiar with what you're asking for, because
Yeah.
I get an opportunity to visit there every once in a while.
Yeah.
So I would suggest to you that there's no question in this group that the need is real.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt. It is the practical application of how that gets remedied.
Yes.
Okay.
And our consulting, we've consulted twice with EPA consulting groups. Right now, our consulting is a fundraising consultants. But what we've known for a long time is that the need, definitely, you guys know that the need is real, and the ability to tailor fit your programs and resources to the need is unique here. So we're holding out space for other organizations that may want to come in, and we can shuffle them in and out as well. So that's the last thing I'll say. I know you got more business to do.
Thank you. We
Yeah.
have a motion. Do we have a second?
A second.
Okay. Roll.
Motion to table.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
So just so I'm clear, you want me to do, what do you want, what are you asking me to do? Go to MRC?
We would like to see what the MRC is willing to put forward. Apparently my microphone must be making sound over there today.
You got surround system going on here.
We want to see what the MRC is willing to put forward and get some more information as to the future of the project and how we see that we can fit the puzzle pieces together, I guess.
So when you say,
And you feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Wiggerly.
No, ma'am, that would be my guidance, suggestion, advice, is exhaust the city of Muncie municipal opportunities that it might exist for you. Because there's no question in my mind the need's real. But the county has a lot of asks, and we're trying to be vigilant and responsible in those requests. And so in the back of my mind, this could set a dangerous precedent for this commission, and we have to be very careful about setting precedents.
I'm concerned about that as well. And full disclosure, it makes me a little nervous to see an ask bigger than the commitment made by the Ball Brothers Foundation or the Community Foundation. That makes me a little nervous. They're working with assets far larger than ours. So
well, that's where we can adjust.
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, this is just the beginning. This is just the start of a conversation.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
Roll call, please.
Ms. Green,
Yes.
Commissioner Brand,
Yes.
Commissioner Henry,
Yes.
Mr. Wiggerly.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Hudson.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank
Ken.
you.
Appreciate it.
Okay. 7 on the agenda is the Eaton Police K-9.
Yeah, I don't see Mr. Guffey. He sent this request in 2 days before our last meeting, so we postponed it to this agenda. I did invite him via email back at the end of September, but seeing that he's not here to make the ask, I would make a motion to table agenda item number 7.
I'll second that.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Ms. Green,
Yes.
Commissioner Brand,
Yes.
Commissioner Henry,
Yes.
Mr. Wiggerly.
Yes.
Okay. And number 8, the Isaiah 117 house update. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm Kimberly Hall. I'm the support coordinator of the Delaware County in Indiana Isaiah 117 house. And thank you for inviting us to give an update. For those of you in the room who don't know what Isaiah 117 house is, we are a home that is provided for children in the transition from being removed from their parents before they go to foster care. Right now, they're at the DCS office for hours to days. So we built a home, and thank you, Commissioners, Redevelopment Commission, for your support and partnering with us. We're very grateful and excited to tell you that the house is very near completion. Countertops go in next week. We the biggest thing is waiting for our utilities. We've been waiting for a long time. So if you know anyone and want to make some calls, you can feel free to do that. But we wanted to give you kind of a brief update. This is Tamara Timms, and she is our state director of Isaiah 117 House. We have how many open homes? Okay, so I will let her kind of give an overview of the last year, and then I'll finish up with kind of some local things that we've been doing recently.
Thanks. As Kimberly said, my name is Tamara Tim. I am recently have joined Isaiah 117 House as the Indiana State Director, but I have worked in child welfare within the state of Indiana for about 20 years. So I am not new to the needs of the communities around us. So I wanted to give a quick timeline. I appreciate allowing us to come back and give an update. This is my first time, so I'm pleased to see all of you. I saw some of you on a screen, but thanks to the rest of you for inviting us here. I think the request was for us to be able to highlight the last 6 months, but I would like to get a little bit further behind, and I think you have all of this information on that one pager in front of you. But we did begin kind of in March of 2024 with local permitting. I know we've met a couple times with you, or I haven't, but Kimberly or Hannah had, and we were able to break ground after some housing, permitting, things like that, back and forth with the state after we've been able to figure out some of those details and approvals. And so we were able to break ground in January of 2025. And construction since then has progressed really, really well. We are about 3 to 4 weeks ahead of schedule as far as actual construction of the home. And like Kimberly said, our only remaining delays at this point are our utilities. We are not able to get a response back from CenterPoint Energy. And then American Water is also waiting for some of those utilities because it makes sense to do them all at the same time. And because all of those utilities we're not able to move forward with, that is what is causing our current delay. Because we can't lay sidewalks, we can't pour concrete, in the driveway and different things like that until those lines are laid. So our first communication with CenterPoint Energy started at the end of July, beginning of August, and we've had a couple different people from our organization as well as Lee, our general contractor, reach out, and we've not been able to move forward with that. So, and then Lee, our contractor, has been the main point of contact with American Water. So like Kimberly said, the inside is nearing completion. The painting is done. The flooring is done. Cabinets are in. Countertops are going to go in. And as far as the exterior work, it's just kind of those last minute details, shutters, sidewalks, ramp. And like I said, we're waiting on some of those things. We have HVAC in, the electrical is complete. And so really up to now, we are ahead of schedule as far as that construction piece and are just waiting those final details. As far as our finances, we are also on track. This project thus far has remained within budget, and we have major donations from community members, community fundraising, partner contributions, and we've been able to cover the costs of the home and the construction, especially with your help. And so we are on track financially. As an organization, we do not open our homes until we have at least 1 year operating budget in the bank. That's for the sustainability of our services throughout that first year. And so we are on track to meet that budget as well. And so as far as the finances and the construction, as soon as we get those utilities in, we do not see any further delays. And on our end, everything has been going great and has progressed really well. We are in the phase now of looking to finalize those like the furnishing of the home. We have a giving room that is currently operating out of another space, which includes clothing, some supplies for foster families or kinship placements that Kimberly can talk about here in a minute. But all of that has to be moved from its current space into the house. So we are still serving children in a different capacity, even while construction is being completed. And so we'll have to move all of that up into the upstairs of the home, and then we'll be able to progress with some other things like volunteer trainings. We do have a staff member that is starting on Monday who will take the role as location leader. And so she will be coming on board and start to get involved more with more community pieces and some of those additional details as we move into this next phase, which as construction winds down, and then our next phase of the volunteer training and getting all those last minute details finalized is kind of where we are in this project right now.
Appreciate that update. Have you had any inspections? Have you had the fire inspector in or the Board of Health or anybody come in?
Yes, we have. So we're right on inspections, like all that have been able to come have come, and they're all good. And so we're waiting on those utilities and then, the next inspection. And yeah, so everything's
Good.
looking great.
I appreciate the update.
Yeah.
So a couple of meetings ago, we had a invoice in front of us for $95,528.24. But my understanding is that would put us over our $200,000 commitment.
Right.
Can you explain why you requested more than what was
Yes.
authorized?
That was actually a mistake that we
Okay.
figured out. So that was a mistake. And our intention was to just submit the amount that we are still contracted for. We do not want to ask for more money.
So you're
yeah.
asking for $49,305.26?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. So, and as she said, we have been serving pretty much the whole time we've been in construction. If you ever feel a little bit down about the way the world is going, you need to come to our giving room, because you walk in there and you just think, Muncie did this, Delaware County did this, and some surrounding counties also. We have brand new items for children that are just overflowing. We are running out of our space. We've had a landlord who has let us be there for free. And because of that, we've been able to keep things organized so that we can pack bags. So standard procedure right now is DCS will call us when they're removing children from their home. And we have served 238 children, I think. What happens is we pack bags for them that have everything they need for the first week in their foster home. It's, socks, underwear, shoes, clothes, coats, jackets, toys, school supplies, books, stuffed animals. We have 3 quilting groups that quilt for us. So handmade quilt for everybody. All of these items have come from the community, donated, and it's been amazing. The house has been built mostly by people that are donating their time. We've had a lot of people give us things at cost or donate all of the items. We have furniture that's been donated to go into the house, decor. We have it's amazing how the community has supported us. We have over 100 volunteers. I looked up last month, and last month was kind of actually a slow month for us because we didn't have a lot of things, but we had 43 volunteers that did 188 volunteer hours with us in the last month. And the house is going to make the service that we can give the children so much better. It's really hard for us sometimes to pack a bag for a teenage girl, say, does she want gray and black or does she want pink and purple? And so it's very hard for us to do that. DCS is doing the best job that they can with the resources they have. They don't have a lot of time when they're trying to find a placement for a child at the same time as taking care of the child in an office space, which obviously is not ideal, to give us tons of information about the children that they have there. They just don't have time for that. So we can't serve them the way that we can when the house is open. Like she said, all that giving room stuff will be moved to the upstairs of the house so we can just take the children. Volunteers can take the children upstairs to pick out the bags, leaving DCS time to find the best placement for the child, not just the first one. We had 9 children sleeping in the office a couple weeks ago, which is heartbreaking to me, actually.
Yeah, that's inappropriate.
Yeah.
I have a question. If
Yeah.
all the utilities were connected, when would you open?
Oh, that's a good question. We do have to train our volunteers. We can't start training until we get the certificate of occupancy.
I understand.
Yes.
But if you had all that.
If we
when-
had all
when-
that
when could you
today,
open?
we could probably open within
Like
a couple of months. Yeah.
to
Okay.
get the certificate of occupancy. It takes about 2 to 3 months
Yeah.
to get everybody. And it's, training has to happen in the home, because we have to prepare the visitors to be, or the volunteers to be able to be in the home with the
Right.
children. So it's
Understand.
not like we can go off-site.
Yeah.
Understand.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a barrier there.
Yeah. And moving everything everything your house has, we need to have in our house. So we need to move everything in and get everything set and, so
It should, 2 to 3 months seems like a reasonable, bearing nothing surprising.
Yeah.
If all goes well, 2 to 3 months after that certificate of occupancy is normally when we have our
Understand.
ribbon cutting.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
yeah. So we're looking forward to that. And I just want to share a quick story about a little guy that we served not too long ago. I could tell when DCS called me that it had been a rough day, and I could, hear a sad child. And I said, is there a request? Is there something that we could do? And she said, he just wants a teddy bear. He's never had a stuffed animal before. 10. And I was like, my kids had more stuffed animals than they knew what to do with before they knew what a stuffed animal was, And so, boy, did he get some stuffed animals. And so our volunteer went, and DCS had her come back and give him the things. And he was just so grateful and just kept saying to himself, actually, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. And so our volunteer, helped him unpack, and he was so excited about the clothes, and he started laying them out and said, I'm going to wear this on Monday, and I'm going to wear this on Tuesday, and this on Wednesday. And our volunteer was touched and called me crying and said, I just can't believe how amazed he was at what we gave him. And I said, this is why we do it, because that little boy, instead of sitting in the office saying, who's going to take care of me? Who am I going to sleep with? What's my mom doing? He was thinking about what he was going to wear to school and what stuffed animal matched with which pajamas, so that he could sleep with the right one. And we often don't hear what happens after we deliver the bags. But on one of our social media posts, the foster mom actually commented and said something like, I wish I'd brought it up so I could read it. But she said, when I got this child at 11:20 p.m., he was still up looking at every sock, every item in that suitcase, and couldn't believe it was all his. And he said, I'm going to look so good in these clothes. And so that's what we want. That's why we're doing this. And we are so grateful for your partnership. And we truly couldn't have done it without you. So thank you so much. And thank you for allowing us to come and update you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think I forgot to answer the question of how many Isaiah 117 houses were here. So Delaware County would be the 8th open home in Indiana. So we have 7 open homes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to invoices. Any questions?
I believe there's a correction on the RQAW. It's listed as $4,961, but when you look at the actual invoice, it's $4,961.25. I get that right? And then I've done the math a couple times here. So I believe that makes the new total $319,836.69. And I understand that's lower than the total that was already on the sheet, even though we're adding 25 cents. So I think that original total was off by 50 cents. I'll do it one more time. So you also got $319,836.69.
Yes.
Make a motion with the amendments and changes that we approved the invoices.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Ms. Green,
Yes.
Commissioner Brand,
Yes.
Commissioner Henry,
Yes.
Mr. Wiggerly.
Yes.
We have no bond and bot invoices. On the sign-up sheet for public comments, we have Mr. Rick Yinser.
Rick Yentzer, newsman and author. As I've said here for the last hour, I wonder just how committed local government is to the economy. Redevelopment for years has suggested business and industry and jobs. Now I see it taking care of people, which is noble, but again, we need to do more to create jobs in this community instead of bailing out charity, building houses, and denying, until just lately, renewable energy in this community. I think you've got the money, as I remember these TIP districts that were created before to benefit business and industry have now been allowed to use for everything from public education, public safety, and now not-for-profits. And I will remind the government too that that's what's the big problem in this community is. Too many people are not paying property taxes. And with property tax relief, it now has been hounded as the death of education and government. There's only half, I think, of most property in this community now that's taxable. Now you can raise money other ways, in income, excise, and other service fees. But again, you need to get back to what the Chamber of Commerce used to do and government used to do, and that's create jobs. And I didn't hear one iota today about that. All I heard was we need to help the people with groups that don't pay taxes. So again, I'm glad to see we've opened the gate to renewable energy because we're going to run out. These data centers are going to tax our water, our land, and our energy. And I don't see a lot of new energy outside of what we've already got now with a reactor on the lake and coal-fired plants on the river. So again, I hope you spend our money wisely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone that didn't sign up or wishes to speak? Okay. Any comments from the commission? All right. Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. We are adjourned.